There are many varieties of Arabic in existence. Arabic is a Semitic language within the Afroasiatic family that originated on the Arabian Peninsula. The largest divisions occur between the spoken languages of different regions. Some varieties of Arabic in North Africa, for example, are incomprehensible to an Arabic speaker from the Levant of the Persian Gulf. Within these broad regions, further inconsiderable geographic distinctions exist within countries, across country borders, even between cities and villages. Another major distinction is to be made between the widely diverging colloquial spoken varieties used for nearly all everyday speaking situations, and the formal standardized language found mostly in writing or in prepared speech. The regionally prevalent variety is learned as the speaker's first language, while the formal language is subsequently learned in school. The formal language itself varies between its modern iteration, Modern Standard Arabic, and the Classical Arabic that serves as its basis, though Arabic speakers typically do not make this distinction. Further substantial differences exist between Bedouin and sedentary speech, the countryside and major cities, ethnicities, religious groups, social classes, men and women, and the young and the old. These differences are to some degree bridgeable. Often, Arabic speakers can adjust the speech in a variety of ways according to the context and to their intentions, for example, to speak with people from different regions, to demonstrate the level of education, or to draw on the authority of the spoken language. Language mixing and change. Arabic is characterized by a wide number of varieties. However, Arabic speakers are often able to manipulate the way they speak based on the circumstances. There can be a number of motivations for changing one's speech: the formality of a situation, the need to communicate with people with different dialects, to get social approval, to differentiate oneself from the listener when citing a written text, to differentiate between personal and professional or general matters, to clarify a point, and to shift to a new topic. An important factor in the mixing or changing of Arabic is the concept of a prestige dialect. This refers to the level of respect accorded to a language or dialect within a speech community. The formal Arabic language carries a considerable prestige in most Arabic-speaking communities, depending on the context. This is not the only source of prestige, though. Many studies have shown that for most speakers, there is a prestige variety of vernacular Arabic. In Egypt, for non-Kaina, the prestige dialect is Cairo Arabic. For Jordanian women from Bedouin or rural background, it may be the urban dialects of the big cities. Moreover, in certain contexts, a dialect relatively different from formal Arabic may carry more prestige than a dialect closer to the formal language. This is the case in Bahrain. For example, language mixes and changes in different ways. Arabic speakers often use more than one variety of Arabic within a conversation or even a sentence. This process is referred to as code switching. For example, a woman on a TV program could appeal to the authority of the formal language by using elements of it in her speech in order to prevent other speakers from cutting her off. Another process at work is leveling, the elimination of very localized dialectical features in favor of more regionally general ones. Quote, "This can affect all linguistic levels: semantic, syntactic, phonological, etc. The change can be temporary, as when a group of speakers with substantially different Arabics communicate, or it can be permanent, as often happens when people from the countryside move to the city and adopt the more prestigious urban dialect, possibly over a couple of generations. This process of accommodation sometimes appeals to the formal language, but often does not. For example, villages in central Palestine may try to use the dialect of Jerusalem rather than their own when speaking with people with substantially different dialects, particularly since they may have a very weak grasp of the formal language. In another example, groups of educated speakers from different regions will often use dialectical forms that represent a middle ground between the dialects rather than trying to use the formal language to make communication easier and more comprehensible. For example, to express the existential their eyes, Arabic speakers have access to many different words: Kuwait and Iraq, AKU, Egypt, the Levant, and most of the Arabian Peninsula, Tunisia, Fame, Morocco and Algeria, Kajn, Yemen, Peh, Modern Standard Arabic, K. In this case, phi is most likely to be used as it is not associated with a particular region and is the closest to a dialectical middle ground for this group of speakers. Moreover, given the prevalence of movies and TV shows in Egyptian Arabic, the speakers are all likely to be familiar with it. Sometimes a certain dialect may be associated with backwardness and does not carry mainstream prestige, yet it will continue to be used as it carries a kind of covered prestige and serves to differentiate one group from another when necessary. Regional varieties. The greatest variations between kinds of Arabic are those between regional language groups. These can be divided many ways, but the following typology is usually used. These large regional groups do not correspond to borders of modern states. In the western parts of the Arab world, varieties are referred to as Ad-Darya, and in the eastern parts, as Al-Amia. The varieties of Arabic are mostly mutually intelligible. In case some varieties are not, this is due to wide distances over time that created divergences in phonologies. Varieties west of Egypt are particularly disparate, with Egyptian Arabic speakers claiming difficulty in understanding North African Arabic speakers, while North African Arabic speakers understanding other Arabic speakers, mostly due to the widespread popularity of Egyptian Standard and, to a lesser extent, the Lebanese popular media. One factor in the differentiation of the varieties is the influence from other languages previously spoken in the regions, such as Coptic in Egypt, Berber, Punica Phoenician in North Africa, and Aramaic in the Levant. Even in cases when two varieties are mutually unintelligible, eventual hinders can be solved by diglossia or multiglossia. Modern languages have also typically provided a significant number of new words, and have sometimes also influenced pronunciation and word order. Examples are Turkish and English in Egypt, French in North Africa and Syria, English and French in Lebanon, and English and Hebrew in Israel. However, a much more significant factor for all five dialect groups is, as Latin among Romance languages, retention of the form of classical Arabic used in the Quran. Examples of major regional differences. The following example will illustrate similarities and differences between the literary, standardized language, and certain major urban dialects. True pronunciations differ. Transliterations used approach an approximate demonstration. Also, the pronunciation of modern Standard Arabic differs regionally. For the sake of comparison, consider the same sentence in German and Dutch. German: Ich lese sehr gern, als ich zur Bibliothek ging, fand ich nur dieses alte Buch, obwohl ich ein Buch über die Geschichte der Frauen in Frankreich lesen wollte. Dutch: Ich lese sehr graag, toen ik naar de bibliotheek ging, vond ik slechts dit oude Buch. Hoewel ik een boek over de geschiedenis van de vrouwen in Frankrijk had willen lezen. Or in Spanish and Portuguese. Spanish: Me gusta mucho la lectura. Quando fui la biblioteca incontré solamente este libro viejo, quería leer un libro sobre la historia de las mujeres en Francia, Portuguese gosto muito da leitura. Quando fui biblioteca encontré somente este livro velho, queria ler livro sobre a historia das mulheres em Franca. Some linguists do argue that the varieties of Arabic are different enough to qualify as separate languages in the way that Spanish and Portuguese, or German and Dutch do. However, as Rimbassioni points out, perhaps the difference between language and variety is to some degree political rather than linguistic. Other regional differences, peripheral varieties of Arabic, that is, varieties spoken in countries where Arabic is not a dominant language and a lingua franca, are particularly divergent in some respects, especially in the vocabularies, since they are less influenced by classical Arabic. However, historically they fall within the same dialect classifications as the varieties that are spoken in countries where Arabic is the dominant language. Probably the most divergent non-Creole Arabic variety is Cypriot Maronite Arabic, a nearly extinct variety that has been heavily influenced by Greek. Maltese is descended from Siculo-Arabic. Its vocabulary has acquired a large number of loanwords from Sicilian and Italian, and it uses only a Latin-based alphabet. It is the only Semitic language among the official languages of the European Union. Arabic-based pidgins are in widespread use along the southern edge of the Sahara and have been for a long time. In the 11th century, the medieval geographer al-Bakri records a text in an Arabic-based pidgin, probably one that was spoken in the region corresponding to modern Mauritania. In some regions, particularly around the southern Sudan, the pidgins have creolized. Even within countries where the official language is Arabic, different varieties of Arabic are spoken. For example, within Syria, the Arabic spoken in Homs is recognized as different from the Arabic spoken in Damascus, but both are considered to be varieties of Levantine Arabic. And within Morocco, the Arabic of the city of Fez is considered different from the Arabic spoken elsewhere in the country. Formal versus vernacular speech. Another way that varieties of Arabic differ is that some are formal and others are colloquial. There are two formal varieties, or al-Lafa al-Fusha. One of these, known in English as Modern Standard Arabic, is used in contexts such as writing, broadcasting, interviewing, and speech-making. The other, Classical Arabic, is the language of the Quran. It is rarely used except in reciting the Quran or quoting older classical texts. Modern Standard Arabic was deliberately developed in the early part of the 19th century as a modernized version of Classical Arabic. People often use a mixture of both colloquial and formal Arabic. For example, interviewers or speechmakers generally use MSA in asking prepared questions or making prepared remarks, then switch to a colloquial variety to add a spontaneous comment or respond to a question. The ratio of MSA to colloquial varieties depends on the speaker, the topic, and the situation, amongst other factors. Today, even the least educated citizens are exposed to MSA through public education and exposure to mass media, and so tend to use elements of it in speaking to others. Egyptian linguist Al-Said Badawi proposed the following distinctions between the different levels of speech involved when speakers of Egyptian Arabic switch between vernacular and formal Arabic varieties: Fusha, Turit, heritage classical, the classical Arabic of Arab literary heritage, and the Quran. This is primarily a written language, but it is heard in spoken form at the mosque or in religious programs on television, but with a modernized pronunciation. Fusha al-Asr, contemporary classical, This is what Western linguists call modern Standard Arabic. It is a modification and simplification of Classical Arabic that was deliberately created for the modern age. Consequently, it includes many newly coined words, either adapted from Classical Arabic or borrowed from foreign, chiefly European, languages. Although it is principally a written language, it is spoken when people read aloud from prepared texts. Highly skilled speakers can also produce it spontaneously, though this typically occurs only in the context of media broadcasts, particularly in talk and debate programs on pan-Arab television networks, such as Al Jazeera and Al Arabiya, where the speakers want to be simultaneously understood by Arabic speakers in all the various countries where these networks' target audiences live. It is also used as another version of literary form of the Quran. Amiyat al-Mutakafin, colloquial of the cultured. This is a vernacular variety that has been heavily influenced by MSA. It tends to be used in serious discussions by well-educated people, but is generally not used in writing. It includes a large number of foreign loanwords, chiefly relating to the technical and theoretical subjects it is used to discuss. Because it can generally be understood by listeners who speak varieties of Arabic different from those of the speaker's country of origin, it is often used on television, and it is also becoming the language of instruction at universities. Amiyat al-Mutanawirin, colloquial of the basically educated. This is the everyday language that people use in informal contexts, and that is heard on television when non-intellectual topics are being discussed. It is characterized, according to Badawi, by high levels of borrowing. Amiyat al-Amiyan, colloquial of the illiterates. This is very colloquial speech characterized by the absence of any influence from MSA and by relatively little foreign borrowing. These varieties are the almost entirely naturally evolved direct descendants of Classical Arabic. Almost everyone in Egypt is able to use more than one of these levels of speech, and people often switch between them, sometimes within the same sentence. This is generally true in other Arabic-speaking countries as well. The spoken varieties of Arabic have occasionally been written, usually in the Arabic alphabet. Vernacular Arabic was first recognized as a written language distinct from Classical Arabic in 17th-century Ottoman Egypt, when the Cairo elite began to trend towards colloquial writing. A record of the Cairo vernacular of the time is found in the dictionary compiled by Yusuf al-Maghribi. More recently, many plays and poems, as well as a few other works, exist in Lebanese Arabic and Egyptian Arabic. Books of poetry, at least, exist for most varieties. In Algeria, colloquial Maghrebi Arabic was taught as a separate subject under French colonization, and some textbooks exist. Mizrahi Jews throughout the Arab world who spoke Judeo-Arabic dialects rendered newspapers, letters, accounts, stories, and translations of some parts of their liturgy in the Hebrew alphabet, adding diacritics and other conventions for letters that exist in Judeo-Arabic but not Hebrew. The Latin alphabet was advocated for Lebanese Arabic by Sedek Ul, whose supporters published several books in his transcription. In 1944, Abdelaziz Pasha Fama, a member of the Academy of the Arabic Language in Egypt, proposed the replacement of the Arabic alphabet with the Latin alphabet. His proposal was discussed in 2 sessions in the Communion but was rejected, and faced strong opposition in cultural circles. Sociolinguistic variables. Sociolinguistics is the study of how language usage is affected by societal factors, e.g., cultural norms and contexts. The following sections examine some of the ways that modern Arab societies influence how Arabic is spoken. Urbanization. The modern state religion. The religion of an Arabic speaker is sometimes involved in shaping how he speaks Arabic. Of course, as is the case with other variables, religion cannot be seen in isolation. It is generally connected with the political systems in the different countries. Unlike that which is often the case in the West, religion in the Arab world is not usually seen as an individual choice. Rather, it is a matter of group affiliation. One is born a Muslim, Christian, or Jew, and this becomes a bit like one's ethnicity. Religion as a socio-linguistic variable should be understood in this context. Bahrain provides an excellent illustration. A major distinction can be made between the Shiite Bahraini, who are the oldest population of Bahrain, and the Sunni population that began to immigrate to Bahrain in the 18th century. The Sunni form a minority of the population. The ruling family of Bahrain is Sunni. The colloquial language represented on TV is almost invariably that of the Sunni population. Therefore, power, prestige and financial control are associated with the Sunni Arabs. This is having a major effect on the direction of language change in Bahrain. The case of Iraq also illustrates how there can be significant differences in how Arabic is spoken on the basis of religion. In Baghdad, there are significant linguistic differences between Arabic Christian and Muslim inhabitants of the city. The Christians of Baghdad are a well-established community, and the dialect has evolved from the sedentary vernacular of urban medieval Iraq. The typical Muslim dialect of Baghdad is a more recent arrival in the city and comes from Bedouin speech instead. In Baghdad, as elsewhere in the Arab world, the various communities share MSA as a prestige dialect. But the Muslim colloquial dialect is associated with power and money, given that the community is the more dominant. Therefore, the Christian population of the city learns to use the Muslim dialect in more formal situations. For example, when a Christian school teacher is trying to call students in the class to order education and social class, age and gender classification. Pre-Islamic varieties: ancient North Arabian Oasis, North Arabian Dumaiti, Taimanitic, Dardanitic, dispersed Oasis, North Arabian Safetic, Hismaic, Thamud-Sassitic, Classical Arabic. Modern varieties: northern varieties. Northern varieties are influenced by the Aramaic language. Levantine Arabic, North Levantine Arabic, North Syrian Arabic, Syrian Arabic, Lebanese Arabic, South Levantine Arabic, Jordanian Arabic, Palestinian Arabic, Cypriot Maronite Arabic, Bedawi Arabic, Mesopotamian Arabic. Gelat varieties: Baghdad Arabic, Khuzestani Arabic, Kieltu varieties, North Mesopotamian Arabic. Central varieties. Central varieties are influenced by the Coptic language and spoken in Nubia. Egyptian Arabic, Saidi Arabic, Sudanese Arabic. Western varieties. Western varieties are influenced by the Berber languages, Punica Phoenician, and by Romance languages. Maghrebi Arabic, Coenes Moroccan Arabic, Algerian Arabic, Tunisian Arabic, Libyan Arabic, fully pre-Hilalian Jebli Arabic, Gl Arabic, Siculo Arabic, Maltese language, Bedouin Saharan Arabic, Hassaniya Arabic, Andalusian Arabic, extinct. Southern varieties: Peninsula Arabic, Gulf Arabic, Bahraini Arabic, Najdi Arabic, Hijazi Arabic, Yemeni Arabic, Hadrami Arabic, Sanani Arabic, Tarizi Aden Arabic, Dofari Arabic, Omani Arabic, Shia Arabic. Peripheries: Central Asian Arabic, Tajika Arabic, Uzbek Arabic, Shervani Arabic, Chadian Arabic, Nigerian Arabic, Khuzestani Arabic. Jewish varieties. Jewish varieties are influenced by the Hebrew and Aramaic languages. Judeo-Arabic, Judeo-Iraqi Arabic, Judeo-Baghdadi Arabic, Judeo-Moroccan Arabic, Judeo-Tripolitanian Arabic, Judeo-Tunisian Arabic. Judeo-Yemeni Arabic, Creoles Nubi Creole Arabic, Bablia Creole Arabic, Sudanese Creole Arabic, Pidgins Maradi Arabic, Turku Arabic. Varieties identified with countries: Algerian Arabic, Bahraini Arabic, Chadian Arabic, Egyptian Arabic, Emirati Arabic, Iraqi Arabic, Jordanian Arabic, Kuwaiti Arabic, Lebanese Arabic, Libyan Arabic, Hassaniya Arabic, Moroccan Arabic, Nigerian Arabic, Omani Arabic, Palestinian Arabic, Qatari Arabic, Sahrawi Arabic, Saudi Arabic, Somali Arabic, Sudanese Arabic, Syrian Arabic, Tunisian Arabic, Yemeni Arabic, diglossic variety, modern standard Arabic. Sedentary versus nomadic. A basic distinction that cuts across the entire geography of the Arabic-speaking world is between sedentary and nomadic varieties. The distinction stems from the settlement patterns in the wake of the Arab conquests. As regions were conquered, army camps were set up that eventually grew into cities, and settlement of the rural areas by nomadic Arabs gradually followed thereafter. In some areas, sedentary dialects are divided further into urban and rural variants. The most obvious phonetic difference between the two groups is the pronunciation of the letter Qaf, which is voiced in the Bedouin varieties, but voiceless in the sedentary varieties. The other major phonetic difference is that the rural varieties preserve the classical Arabic interdentals theta and th, and merge the ca emphatic sounds d and th into th rather than sedentary d. The most significant differences between rural Arabic and non-rural Arabic are in syntax. The sedentary varieties in particular share a number of common innovations from ca. This has led to the suggestion, first articulated by Charles Ferguson, that a simplified Koine language developed in the army staging camps in Iraq, from whence the remaining parts of the modern Arab world were conquered. In general, the rural varieties are more conservative than the sedentary varieties, and the rural varieties within the Arabian Peninsula are even more conservative than those elsewhere. Within the sedentary varieties, the western varieties are less conservative than the eastern varieties. A number of cities in the Arabic world speak a Bedouin variety, which acquires prestige in that context.